Hello, welcome to another episode of Why a Comic Book So Addictive. Yes, they are. You know me, I love to go back in time to read about the past. And recently I purchased a book that has been a lot of fun for me to go through. I have not go through the entire book yet. I kept this book at bedside, and every night, when I go to bed, I take the book out and go through a couple chapter, section, not chapter, and read up on some fun tidbits. And the book is appropriately named. See this? Hopefully. Comic Book Fever, a celebration of comics 1976 to 1986. Fantastic. I'm glad I bought this copy. I bought this copy from Amazon. Okay, from Amazon. So, it's very inexpensive. And the title is very appropriate because it's a celebration of comics. So it's not just about Marvel or DC. It talk about Archie, independence, even toys, basically pop culture, everything pop culture and comic books from 1976 to 86. And just to give you an idea of the table of content, okay? Hopefully you can see it. Look at that. Okay, so it's roughly 237 pages, and there are maybe 60 to 70 topics, and it touch on many things. Okay, if you are a fan, some of the stuff in here I know, and some of the stuff I did not know. It's always fun to go and read about the past and why things was done and what people thought about certain topic. Like there was a good few pages on the history of Marvel Team Up, which you can see right there, which is pretty neat. I did not, I don't really collect Marvel Team Up, but it was neat to read the reason and the purpose why they create the book and why it was eventually canceled. And then it talk, like I said, it's all thing comics, even a section on the Fireside books, and then a piece on Archie. There is Casper the Ghost in here. There's a big section on mutants, Dave Cockrum, which I really enjoy. I'm a huge X-Men fan, Dave Cockrum fan. So it was neat to read about his history in the hobby, and some of the stuff I know, and I remember discussing Dave Cockrum, and one of the reasons why John Byrne took over the title was Dave was not used to the speed of having to produce monthly books. The X-Men were bi-monthly books at the time. Eventually Dave Cockrum returned to the books and was able to produce monthly production, but it was not easy for him in the beginning. But there was a big blurb in here about that. Right here, as you can see, Dave Cockrum, good stuff. You name it, everything. Of course, Neil Adams have a big section in here about Neil Adams. So even the ads, okay, even the ads have a little write-up like this very common back cover ad that we all see. There's a little 2-page write-up on the backstory of that. So it's fun reading. Like I said, I bought this about 3 weeks ago, and every night when I go to bed, if I have time, I flip through a few pages and learn something new. Very cool. I can't say enough that it was a good purchase, and for those that super interest in everything pop culture, as far as learning about the history, this is one of those fun books that is worth buying. Okay, I have a big section here on Jim Stalin as well. The meta galactic mind of Jim Stalin. Look at that, sweet stuff. Pretty big section actually. And then of course Star Wars. Okay, how Star Wars saved Marvel. Even a few pages on Kiss in the magazine. Like I said, I think this book did a decent job touching on so many areas of the hobby in the decade from 76 to 86. Would it be nice to have even more in-depth backstories, write up for each of these topics? Absolutely. I would not complain, but then this book would be triple the size. So I understand. I understand this was a labor of love for the author. I cannot pronounce the last name. George Curry, as you can see right there, George Curry. So if you're interested in this book, there's even a blurb on My High and the ad. See that? We're all familiar with the My High ads, right? During the 80s, I was. Look at the pictures of Chuck in his inventory. Good stuff. Like I said, it's a good fun book to own. Okay, to flip. Like I said, every night a few pages in there, and I learn a little bit each time. And this is for John, Dr. DVC, Sao Bushima. Look at that. Like I said, I only went through about halfway through this book, and I have had it now for almost 3 weeks, I think, at least 2 weeks. But anyhow, and for those that are interested in learning more about the hobby, get yourself a copy of this book. You won't be disappointed. Thanks for watching.